little bit of sound vibration just to clean the air, clean the energy, make sure we're feeling good. We shall wait for a moment while we wait for a few people to jump on. And here we are. How are you, my friend? I know I've been very off the grid for a couple of weeks. I hope you've been going okay. Everything good in your life? Absolutely, my friend. First chat of the live. Way to go. See, I've got myself a little bit of a different backdrop just to give us a little bit of a feel. Still trying to create some space, but yeah, changing it up a little, trying to put a bit of a uplifted vibe, mate. I'm glad things have been good. You know, there's a lot of things happening out there at the moment in the world, and as long as we're focused on ourselves, I think we'll all be fine. Playing with my little Amazonite ball today. I'll let you look at that one. It's a really, really beautiful stone, Amazonite. It's quite calming to your emotions. It's very much about, you know, not let when your emotions get the better of you. It's very much about helping you connect with that calmness. It's a good stone. I've had it for a long time. And in my little magic box I have, my little treasure chest, should I say, with a few of my goodies in it. Might be plucking a few out tonight and using them at different stages. Yes. Paddy Cripps kicked the winning goal. Oh, beautiful, mate. You can't ask for more than that, eh? You cannot ask for more than Paddy Cripps kicking a goal to knock off the Cats. Yep, magic box, mate. Hey, I'll try and show you. Here you go. It's a little treasure chest. Little treasure chest. There we go. Keeps a few of my crystals and that in it. Hey, Terry, how you going, mate? You have missed nothing. I'm waiting for a few people to hop onto the live and we'll start chatting away. Terry, I think you are new because I haven't seen your name up before. So, no, good stuff for those the blue baggers. Now, I'm Craig, for those who have not seen me before. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. I'm a metaphysical thinking person. So, in a way, it's very much about, if you don't know what a metaphysical thinking person is, I'm just someone that really believes that we as individuals create what's going on in our lives. What we put out there, what attitude we have to life actually makes a huge difference to what happens in life. You know, what's inside you is what's reflected in the external. Yes, thank you, my friend. But you can pretend you've never been here before. It's a whole new scene. I've just set up with my little space feeling look here. So, Terry, we've come from very average beginnings. Just me sitting in front of a plain old curtain, mate, and talking my stuff. So, look, for those as well as Terry that have not listened to me before, basically, I do this YouTube channel not to become rich and famous. It's really just to talk my stuff. It's really just to express how I see life and how I look at different things. And I throw out a lot of ideas about, you know, how I look at things and so on and so forth. So individuals that listen to me, you know, sometimes there's some gold nuggets there that you can certainly take away, try them for yourself. I'm a big believer that you should be able to prove things to yourself in life, you know, that that basically you can prove that things are real by experiencing them. And, you know, I'm not a person that believes in something because I haven't proven it to myself. If I'm expressing that I believe in something particular, it's going to be because I've had that experience personally. you can't always prove everything to others, but you can pass on techniques and things and the way to go about things to start to prove that each individual actually has a big impact in their own lives. And I believe that. And there's millions around this planet that believe the same thing, that our attitude towards our own lives, our attitudes towards people in our own world goes a long way to what we manifest, goes a long way to what we create on a daily basis. I mean, if you want to act like a complete, tosser, you can expect, lots of shitty things to be manifested in your life. If you're acting at that low vibration, you'll only attract other low vibrations. If you're acting positively and you're treating people the way that you want to be treated, you'll get the same thing back from others. And I'm just a huge believer in that. William, how you going, mate? And, for everyone that's jumping on and having a listen, one of my personal rules is take the things you like out of what I say, chuck away what you don't like. I'm not here to tell people that everything I'm talking about is, genuine and you have to listen to it and blah, blah, blah. It's me expressing how I go about things and how I see things, and, take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. That's how we roll. I think a lot of people should, go forward in life, be skeptical, don't be gullible. Gullible people basically believe everything and then they confuse themselves. Over skeptical people block too many things out to allow new information to come in. Thanks, buddy. Well, I'm Craig. I'm 56. I'm in Melbourne, Australia, mate. That's I've been here my whole life in Australia, and I'm a metaphysical thinking individual that is just someone that believes in the power of what I'm doing, of what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, and how I'm acting. Those things go much further to transforming your own reality for yourself than most people realize. And I think more and more people are starting to realize that with the right attitude, you can transform your world around you. Now I'm just playing with a crystal. I'm very much into my crystals, have been since my early adulthood, got into crystals, natural stones, probably in my early 20s. This is Amazonite. I'll go right close to the thing there so you can see the Amazonite crystal ball. I've had this one for quite a while. Very much one of the things that Amazonite works on is it's got an energy of helping work with your emotions, your emotional stability. When you're having trouble expressing your emotions, this stone can really help us clear out negative energies in that particular area of your life. I find that stones, when you wear them, when you wear a crystal or you work with a crystal, that it basically helps to connect with a particular area of your own vibration, right? Because people are made up of vibration. I mean, it's what's behind the physical. It's what actually makes everything work, right? You've heard about auras. I'm sure that people have auras. For those who do not know that word, an aura is the vibration of your essence, right? It is you. And at different times we attract or work with different colors. More different colors come in, depending on what we're working on at the time, depending on what part of, your life and stuff that you're going through. You might find yourself attracted to a certain color. You might find yourself wanting to wear different colors at different times. That's all a part of it. It's the same with natural stones. If you find yourself really attracted to a particular stone at a particular time, your intuition is pretty much saying to you, hey, we could benefit from wearing this stone or carrying a stone in the pocket or however you want to look at it. But crystals, natural stones should be used intuitively. So when you feel like wearing it, you wear it. When you feel like taking it off, you take it off. When you feel like it's a bit heavy, you give it a cleanse, right? Natural stones absorb low vibration. That's what they do in the area of vibration where they work, all right? You're loving the backdrop, Freddie. Yeah, something new, mate. The missus got it online and thought I'd hang it up. Looks a little bit more, esoteric than the old curtain in the background. I'm still trying to create a physical space to set up properly in, mate. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So, whatever helps people hang out a little bit more with Craig and, not looking too basic, all right? But, look, I wanted to talk about a particular thing. The last couple of weeks, I haven't gone online. I felt the energies that have been going around with me have been pretty strong. Few things going on, and basically just haven't felt that need to express to everyone else, and so pulled back a little bit. But I suppose today I was having a good think about what I might talk about. And, there's a lot of worry in the world. There's a lot of worry in Australia for those who are in Australia. And I guess everywhere else is the same with, different, wars going on with America and Iran and, a bit of turmoil, a bit of confusion. Everyone becomes a little bit not confident about, what they're doing. Is it the right time to do this? Is it the right time to do that? It's very important at the moment, I think, for our own sanity to let go and not try and work out everything, right? Basically, trust in the flow, right? Because the flow of life is always happening, right? Life goes on. You go to sleep at night time, you wake up the next day, it continually goes on, all right? Life is about trusting, from my perspective, trusting that you're in charge of that flow, all right? That you have a say, you've had a say. You're actually manifesting everything all the time. So when you're fighting against anything, when you're getting upset about something, when you're arguing with something, when you're pushing back against someone in your life, you're fighting against the flow. The flow is something that I believe we're fully aware of in our fuller selves, in our higher self, our true self, our self that we are working towards becoming more of, right? Connecting with who we are, our true self, right? Your true self is you that is in charge of your life. That your true self is the part of you, I believe, that's created what's going on in your life and continues to do that while you're here. So as you trust in the flow, as you trust in what comes into your life and out of your life and so on and so forth, you are saying to your higher self, I want more of that. I'm happy with that. It's how you see the things that come along. If you see a particular instance that happens on a daily basis and stops you in your tracks, and you say, I can't accept that that's just happened, then you have a belief inside yourself that's resisting flowing through that. You don't have to take everything on like it has to be solved. You have to trust that you, your broader self, or if you were to step back from your life as it is now, if you were to step back and you were to step into who you truly are and look at this one life from perspective of yourself as a greater being, which I believe we all are, you wouldn't be panicked. You wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't be angry. When you look at it from the emotional human perspective and you're living the life and you're looking at it only through that lens, you find yourself wanting to stop and argue and fight when things don't seem to be happening in the way that you'd like them to happen, or things happen outside the level of that's just not acceptable from my belief structure. So going with the flow is not as easy as what people make out, because it's your beliefs that allow you to go more with the flow, right? You have to allow yourself to let go more, right? At the moment, there's a lot of information coming in. So if you were to listen to a lot of the spiritual teachers that are around online and out there and psychics, now a lot of them are saying the same thing, that there's a real upload of information coming to the human race at the moment, that we're being basically upgraded, okay, to a more broader understanding of who we are. But if you try and fight against that, if you try and work out that aspect, if you try and, I'm going to solve this, I want to know why, that doesn't sit with me. Your brain is only so open at the moment, you won't be able to do it. So it's very important to, even if you don't understand how you're feeling, why is this happening, so on and so forth, it's very important for individuals to allow themselves to flow. It's very important for individuals to trust that life is good, that what is happening in your life is okay, right? When you believe that someone else makes everything happen to you, that can make individuals feel like they don't have any power, and then they get more upset when things happen because they don't take responsibility for it. A metaphysical thinking person takes responsibility for everything that's happening because they understand, or they believe, as I do, that we're connected with source. We're a part of the all that is. We actually choose what happens in our life, even if it's not at the conscious level, even if it's just at the subconscious level. We have to trust that what is happening is for what we've wanted to have happen. Even at the time when certain things happen and they're not that great, what that can do, though, if you were to step back from your life and look at that, that situation in a month's time might take you to a place that is extremely beneficial and extremely positive to you. But if you don't allow yourself to accept these things and flow with it all, you're not allowing yourself to get there. You're not allowing yourself to be more, or allow more to flow through. You are manifesting constantly. That's what human beings do. When you act a certain way, when you put out a certain vibe, let's use an example. So I use this example a lot for those who have heard this or not heard this before. When you put out, hey, Wayne, how you going, mate? Welcome aboard. When you put out a positive vibe, say a person delivers a package to your door, and you say to that person, thank you so much for bringing it up to the doorstep. Oh, because sometimes when people dump them down with a fence, they get pinched in that. Really appreciate you for walking it up and handing it to me. And when you're genuinely emotional to someone in that sense, very often you will see that person go, oh, no problem at all. Thank you. No, appreciate you. And the same response comes back what you put out. What you put out is what comes back. Everything, hey, Rich, how you going? Everything, you're a legend, Richard. Everything that happens in your world is a reflection of where you are now with how you see yourself. You can know where you're at by paying attention to what's happening around you. If there's still turmoil going on in your own personal world, there's turmoil going on inside yourself that you're fighting against. All right, you can put things into two simple brackets if you like. There you go, mate. FedEx, beautiful. When you when you put things into two separate brackets, either you're accepting of all the things that are happening in your life and you're allowing life to keep flowing, which is the fastest way to let better things come to you, or you keep putting blocks in the way because of your belief system that doesn't want to see that certain things happen for a positive reason, even though a lot of things can seem kind of negative. A lot of things seem negative at the time. If you are stepping back from your life and looking at your life as an overall, you basically, hey Asha, how you going? I've been well, thank you. You can basically see that that particular situation could become positive when you understand what you step into after going through a certain negative experience. So life is about experiences, and sometimes we have to pull that lacquer band quite a way back before we get the let go and the positive in the other direction. So a lot of people go through hard experiences to see that they can have much more in their life. It's something that an individual kind of works out for themselves. Yeah, I mean, if you go along in life, you can cruise along at a plateau type of level and not really strive for everything. I do find that a lot of people strive for more when they've been through some hard stuff. They're looking for the opposite of that. And I think that most of us have been through trial and tribulation, if I'm being honest. I think most people go through certain things in life that test us. And the only way we advance ourselves and expand ourselves as a being is through going through those things, is through embracing them almost. Going through going with the flow is really about embracing everything that's happened to you. Now, when you put it down as a line like that, that can be hard, right? Because some things that happen, some situations at the time can be quite traumatic. And I'm not saying that if you accept the traumatic situations, if you accept them and let them go, that means you're saying it can happen again. No, I'm saying that when you accept it and let it go, you allow energy to flow again, and you then reap the benefit of the experience. Because with every lower vibration will come a higher experience. In my experiences, that's how it kind of works. Until you get to that point where you realize that, hey, what I put out, because before you know this, before you understand that concept, what I think and what I say and what I feel and do create my own reality. Until you actually believe that, until you've proven that to yourself, right? Everything's kind of happening, and you think, oh, it's you can think, yes, I create it, but I don't know how I'm creating it. When you start to understand that from your conscious mind, from your human self, those three things go together to send a message to your higher self, to your subconscious mind, the part of you that does manifest everything on a daily basis, on a second by second basis. Those things are all part of it. When you start to understand and believe that, hey, what I'm thinking is a major part of what I'm creating. So when you start listening to your thoughts, when you start paying attention, and I'm not saying you don't pay attention to what you think, but I'm saying a lot of people don't pay enough attention to what they think. They let a lot of things go through to the keeper, like, that's fine. I can think that person's a dickhead. That's all right. When unbeknownst to you, you are sending a message to your higher self to say that you think that you're a dickhead and you want to attract more dickheads to you. Yeah? Because you're thinking it. Now, just thinking something doesn't make it happen as such, but it is the starting point. And when you think something enough, then you start to say it, because you believe it that much in your mind that I've got to say it now. That guy's a dickhead. And you see it at sporting events, you see it at all types of stuff. But they're yelling at other people. But the reality is, from a spiritual perspective, they're yelling at themselves. They're trying to make themselves wake up to themselves. That's the crazy thing about it. It's almost a bit reverse to what we've been programmed to do, right? We act a certain way in life, and those ways that we've been programmed that are okay to act like actually suppress and block and stop us from becoming consciously aware of what we are creating. Just right. Next time you're at a sporting event, biggest sporting event, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people, you listen to how many people are abusing themselves. When you look at it like that, you start to work out how many people are blocked. All right. Because when you yell things from a sporting event like that from the sidelines, do you think the umpire on the field can hear you? Do you think the guy playing the game can hear you? No, because it's just a murmur. You're only yelling at yourself. And some people are more abusive than others, right? And some people yell different things to others, right? Because they have different belief systems and different blockages that they're trying to get a reflection about themselves, because that's what your expression and how you act. That's the third step, right? So thinking, speaking, and then acting. Acting grounds it. Acting is you're acting out who you are to yourself. It's not actually about the world. The world and people around you allow yourself to act out yourself, because the whole thing is about you working out that what you're doing affects you. It affects your every moment of life. There's a strong process too, that when it comes to when you change your mindset, right? Um, yeah, hang on, read what you've said. We've been programmed to say anything else. Mate, I just love the fantasy stuff. What's wrong? It's all good. It's a bit of fun. Life's about fun too. All right. So yeah, it's taking ownership of who you are, right? Authentically living your life the way you want to live it. As long as you're not hurting other people, bring joy into your life. Go watch Star Wars. It's a good movie, right? But bring joy into your life. Do the things that you enjoy. Talk about the things that you love to talk about. Experience the things that you want to experience. What you believe yourself to be, well, that's up to yourself, because that's a belief, right? What hurt is. What hurts someone can be different to what hurts someone else. And a lot of it's emotional, then you get physical, but it is about you, because as we're raised in this world, as we're brought into this world, every single person in your life throws their programs upon you about how you should be, how you should not be, which entail over a whole, heading into adulthood, you have all these programmings that are placed upon you, and you accept them as a natural little sponge because you don't know any different. And as you start to take ownership of your life, some people realize that, hey, I really don't want to agree. I'm not going to agree with it. I don't like that. And then other people that you're around, you start to agree with you bring other people into your world that, you agree with them and how they see life, and that sits with you. Your programmings, some are very good, some are very limiting, some are very negative, some are very positive. People have the choice to change what they believe. You're not locked into a belief just because your grandfather believed something and he said that's how it is and you need to believe that, and that means you believe it for your whole life. No, I don't believe that at all. Each individual can decide what they believe in, and what they want to hold on to, and what they want to let go of. A metaphysical thinking person empowers himself with the understanding that you're in control of your own life, that you create your own reality, that you're a part of the universe. Yes, you're a part of the source energy. We are part of the all that is. That's how I see it. That's how metaphysical thinking people see it. What we put out is what comes back. And I've proven it to myself over and over again. As an individual, any individual out there can do for themselves. You can all go out there and prove those things to yourself, and then start to dive into your life from a different perspective if that's something that you want to do. But I've always been very much, always take what you like, throw out what you don't like. Um, and and truth for you as an individual comes from your personal experiences, correct? I mean, as mine do. So here I'm expressing my opinion because I felt the need to express my authenticity as well. And so this is my little YouTube channel that I'm doing. So some people like it and some people don't. And that's all good, because I see everyone at a different stage in life. Everyone's going through their own lessons in this life and experiencing what they're experiencing and learning what they're learning, because we all come from the same place, right? We're all heading back to the same place as well. So we're all family. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's it. I have no other thing that I want to put out there to people to think about, because it doesn't matter about what color you are. It doesn't matter about what nationality you are. It doesn't matter about what race you are. It doesn't matter. We're all brothers and sisters from the same place. We all are the same. We're all uniquely different, but we're all the same family. So, that concept is something that I hope one day bleeds into the whole world properly, because it needs to, right? Hey, Money Mojo, how you going? It needs to. People just need to, not get caught up in particular beliefs that often express anger and negativity and blah, 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 I appreciate you, my friend. on your friend. Appreciate you. But it's, people need to just take ownership of themselves. You don't have to worry about anyone else. Just be the best version of yourself you can be. Do things that you enjoy yourself doing. Live life to the fullest. You know, if something's not feeling good, move on and do something else. It's not rocket science. It's just taking ownership. You can change the direction you're going in. You can change your beliefs. You can change your thoughts. You can be a different person. You have to see the person that you are first to often want to know whether you need to change something though. And that's the reflection aspect. That's the stepping back from who you are. That's a real eye opener when you get to that point, when you have that ability where a situation can happen where you might act a certain way and you're like, oh, I've just gone off at that person because of something they did. But then later on at home, you might reflect upon the situation and go, wow, I told that person X, Y, Z. Do I really believe that? Do I really want to act like that? And see, once you realize you don't like something about how you acted, that's when you're able to let go of that particular belief because you've realized that you believe that, and then you've realized that you don't want to be like that. It automatically dissipates, and then you get the opportunity to then start acting more positively next time a similar situation happens. Each of us, you know, takes what we like, chucks out what we don't like in life. I move forward like that. So it's basically helping to just just know yourself better. You know, people talk about mirror work, right? Where you'll stand in front of the mirror and you say, I'm a good person, I love myself, all this stuff, right? Um, it's about that's all good stuff to say, right? Affirmations, there's nothing wrong with saying them, but it's way more powerful when you actually hear yourself or see yourself or realize that you've acted in a way later on, or even at the time when a certain thing happens and you want to emotionally bubble over straight away with a response, realizing that that emotion is connected to a belief gives you self empowerment, and it gives you an opportunity to change that, right? No one's perfect. The reality of life isn't that this is all there is. This isn't life. This is a part of life. The human experience for me is one part of our existence. I believe very strongly, we're much more than that. We're much more than we're one part of the whole, you could say. We're an extension of ourselves living in the physical world to understand ourselves from the human perspective and learn the things that we want to learn about ourselves from this perspective. The only thing that everyone can agree on, in my opinion, is do the things that you love to do. Don't copy everybody else. Don't live your life for other people. Live your life for you, not in a selfish way, not in an ego way, from the heart. What do you love? Go out and do it. Why are you wasting your time not doing something that you love? If you don't know what it is that you really want to be doing, I say to a lot of people to, try and begin or practice some meditation where you quiet your mind, where you step out of the craziness of the world for a bit, and find a quiet place and just breathe. Breathe in your nose, deep into your diaphragm, exhale out your mouth, and circulate the breathing and focus on your breathing, right? To calm your mind. And then when you are calm, after you do that once a day for a while, once you've done that for 2 or 3 days, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, that's all you need to do. Once you calm your mind, you can then ask yourself those questions. What is it that I want to do? What is it that excites me? If you don't know, when your mind is clear and calm, this is the best time to ask yourself the questions that you might need answering. The answers for life are not outside yourself. The answers for life are actually inside yourself. So center yourself, calm yourself, Trust in the flow of life, that you have come here for a reason, that you have decided to come here. No one's made you come here and live this physical life. You're conscious. You think for yourself. You think, therefore you are, right? You are an amazing being that has been told from a very early age that you are lesser than. You are not less than. Not one of us is less than. Every single one of us is more than we realize, right? We are perfect. You've already got the golden ticket to existence. You live forever. You'll leave this life, you'll have a look at how it went, you'll make a decision whether you want to come back and do another one somewhere else in this grand universe that we create. Maybe you'll stay over the other side for a while and experience life there, because that's home on the other side. But we're here for an important reason, because otherwise we wouldn't be here. Life should be treated as important. I know that much, right? Life should be treated as important. It's important that you chose to come here. You know, you wouldn't want to go and pull the pin on this life and then realize when you've crossed over, shit, I need to hang around for another year or so because some really important stuff was going to happen, but now I've missed out because I know, and before I even took the time to, you know, go through it and experience it. You know, life can be tough at times and life can be fun at times. I'm here to tell you as an example that life can be fun all the time if you change and let go of those more negative beliefs that we carry, those ones that have been put upon us from people that didn't know any different, from our parents that did the best that they could, but they were still very limited. I mean, we know what life was like for them and then for their grandparents, and it was hard. You know, they had much more control upon them and much more limiting things going on, and they were really funneled into certain ways of thinking. And you know, our generation and the next generations coming through are much more open-minded. I think are much more receptive to understanding that there's more to life than what most people have told us. And your life is yours. Your life is yours. You do what you want to do in your life. Like I said, there's no rules, rhyme, or reason. I won't go out there to hurt any other people. That's something that I just personally believe we shouldn't be doing. But you know, when it comes to experiencing your life, live from the heart. You know, do the things that bring you the most joy. Do the things that make you smile inside, not just outside, inside. You know, you can be really happy. It doesn't mean that you have to be smiling all the time, because people that smile all the time, that can be a bit freaky, right? Like, so you want to genuinely be warm and fuzzy on the inside with how things make you feel with what you experience. They want to be genuine. It wants to be from the heart. Then no one can ever take that away from you. And the greatest experiences that I personally have had in my life are things that they're inside me. I always wanted to do them. I went and did them, or I'm still doing them, and they make me feel good when I'm doing them. Like public speaking, like speaking like this. I have no drama doing it. I'm not the most perfect in the world, but you know, I do the best I can, and I love talking about life, the universe, and everything. I just love all the stuff about that. You know, it's the broadest topic in existence. There's nothing bigger that you could talk about but life, the universe, and everything. That's the biggest thing. You know, we could target a certain aspect to life and we could discuss that one little aspect, but talking about existence as an overall thing, it's huge. It's exciting. It's not limited, right? So I reckon I'm probably was a philosopher in a past life. That's what I think to myself. But life is about living it. So live it. Live life to the fullest. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Don't worry about doing things because other people think that that's what you should, that everyone should be doing, right? Then you get a bunch of, you know, what do you call it? People that are all the same. Anyway, then you get people that aren't authentic. All right. When you do things from the heart, you're living authentically. You're being true to yourself. You're not worried about what other people think. When you act as your true self, when you are your authentic self, like attracts like in life. That's vibration, that's energy. It's like a universal law. When you're on a certain frequency, other ones attract the same frequency. So when you are your authentic self, you attract people that are into the same things that you love. That's exciting. That's when you meet your real family. When you meet the people that are into what you're into, truly. And obviously, you have friends that aren't all into everything you're into, but I find that friends have some connections in some areas that are similar, not always everything, but you really want to be going down that path of doing things that bring you joy. When you do something that you are excited about, when you send a message, that's another message that gets sent to your higher self through your actions, that you want more of this. So you might do a hobby that is some particular thing. You don't do it for a job, but you just love it that much. You do it once a week. If you keep doing that, you are sending a message that I want to do more of this. And that's when you can find opportunities come into your world around things that just suddenly unfold for you, and suddenly there's an opportunity that you could do this hobby thing all week long as a job. Oh my goodness, every day is a joy. You can transform your life for the better when you realize that you and what you do makes a difference. But what you're doing now with most people is unconsciously you are creating your own reality. Everyone creates their own reality all the time, but most people do it unconsciously. So they're thinking whatever they're thinking, they're saying whatever they're saying, they're doing whatever, and they're attracting all types of mess to themselves. And they're acting ways that really, because I'll tell you a little secret. The subconscious and higher self mind do not, remember this, do not know sarcasm. They only know what you think, the words that you say, and what you do. So when you act a certain way and you think you're being funny and sarcastic, it sees it as genuine. That's what you want. You want to attract those things into your life. Now, you know, you can believe me, you can not believe me, right? When it comes to that, if you're someone that believes they create their own reality or not. But I charge you all to change something with the way you think, with the way you speak, and the way you act. Pay attention to those three things in your life. Start to pay attention and start to say and act and think differently. Ask for things. It won't happen straight away. But if you start to say positive affirmations in your mind, like, you want to be more abundant, right? You want to create more abundance in your life. Well, you've got to be thankful and grateful for the abundance that you have in your life. Something I've spoken about a few weeks ago as well. I'm just going to add this one. It's a good example, I think. It's something that I went through myself as well. So you can have $500 in the bank. And some people can go, wow, I've got $500 in the bank. I'm bloody abundant. If you're 15 years old, you're probably feeling $500 is pretty abundant. But I've got $500 in the bank. I can go out. I can have a few drinks. I can go to dinner. I can watch some movies. I can have a really good time. Thank you for that $500, Craig. Or I can look at $500 and say, oh my God, I've only got $500 in the bank. Jesus, I can never get enough money. I've never got enough money. There's bills coming in. God damn it, blah, blah, blah. And you can look at it in lack. How you look at the situation is what message you send to your mind, your subconscious and your higher self mind, that create and manifest your reality on a second by second basis. You need to get the reflection from yourself through whatever way it would be to understand what you believe, to understand how you perceive things, where are your limitations. Once you realize that you've been doing something and it's been creating lack, let's say, and you start looking at, wow, every little thing, this is what I realized in my life, every little thing that's in my world, I've created it. Because if I've proven that I create one thing in my life, I've proven that I create everything in my world, down to the cup of coffee that I have in the morning. I paid for that coffee that makes that cup of coffee, and I created that. I manifested it. I'm thankful and grateful being able to do that. Every little thing that you have in your world, be thankful and grateful to yourself for allowing yourself to create that. Because when you start to be thankful and grateful in that way, you send a message to your higher self to create more of the things that you can be thankful and grateful for. More abundance, more flow. It is not limited to one person having the ability to be abundant. It is there for us all on individual levels to create more of what you want. You just have to take ownership of your beliefs, of how you see yourself, how you see the world that you create. It is allowing yourself to step back and see yourself, the reflection of how you act. But through the things that you do on a daily basis, through the comments that you make, through the actions that you do, you are telling yourself, even if you're not listening, you are telling yourself what positive things I believe, what negative things I put out there and believe. When you act like a dick, you attract other dicks. Right? When you act like an empowered, focused, loving being, you attract more of that to you. When you act abundant and in charge, and my world is my oyster, and I know that every part of me is everything, so I'm not going to stop myself giving, and I'm going to send those messages so that my higher self keeps creating that positive flow of abundance in all aspects of my life. The universe is your oyster, everyone. The universe is your oyster. If you like oysters, I don't like oysters. Do what you like, right? Do what you like. Live your life from joy. A joyous life is a brilliant life. Abundance is there for all when you allow yourself to realize what you are doing to block it. And abundance comes in all forms. So don't look at it just as money. It's abundance is everything. Every little thing that you have created it in your world. Be proud of that. You are a master manifester, right? You are a master. Everyone begins with the realization that you are in charge of everything in your world. Everything. You're on the ride. You're on the magical mystery tour. All right? Embrace yourself. Believe in yourself. You're fantastic. You're perfect. You're imperfectly perfect, as I like to say. We are uniquely perfect. There is nothing you need to change about how you look and who you are. You are a spark of love and vibration and light of the universe. You will never disappear. You will transform yourself through many, many times in life. You will, when you cross over, you'll change and you'll do other things. But we're amazing. As beings, we are amazing. And I love to think about that, and I love to know that, right? That everyone out there needs to look at themselves as an amazing individual that can create and do anything that their heart desires in their life. There are no limitations. The only limitations that any of us put on ourselves are from our own beliefs. So let go of the limiting beliefs that you hold if they are in the way of what you want to create for yourself. That's it. That is it in a nutshell, everyone. So it's like I said, it's been a couple of weeks since we've had a good chat. But the message for today's live, and for all you guys that get a bit out of what I talk about. The live will get posted. The live will get posted tonight. And for those who have missed out on the exciting live, thank you, Money Mojo. Those who have missed it on the live tonight can watch it in its full glory over the next week. But I can tell you all that exciting to be back. A movie that's coming out, I want to say this, Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg. It's going to be the greatest movie ever released. The greatest movie, Disclosure Day. I'm calling it now. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. It comes out on the 11th of June. I'll be there within the first 2 days of that going on to the screens, and it's more than a movie. Steven Spielberg knows a lot more than a lot of people realise, and I, for one, will be there to check that movie out and enjoy it to its fullest potential. And I hope that others go along and have a look at it. It's going to be a cracker. I'm sure everyone will. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. It's been a pleasure having a chat. I want you all to stay safe. I want you all to create from the heart. I want you to believe in yourselves and let go of those negative beliefs. Remember, what you think, what you say, and what you do creates your own reality. Remember this, Craig's World rocks. Don't forget, yours does too. And we will talk to you all very, very soon. All right? Take care, everyone. See ya.